Welcome to another tutorial on design drawing, and we're doing today 2-point perspective, which is one of my favorite things to teach, and I'm going to go quite quickly, but like the name suggests, this is a step-by-step tutorial, so you can pause it at any time and tidy up what you're doing and then keep moving on. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to draw a street corner in 2-point perspective. Now this is what you need to do to get started, is find roughly the middle of the page. It doesn't have to be exact, but roughly the middle of the page, and just measure 4 centimeters up from there and just make a little dot like that. That dot's going to be important soon. And then from the top of the page, you're going to measure down around about 7 or 8 centimeters. And you're going to make a mark on that side. And you're going to do the same. I'm going to have to move over a little bit on this side. Then take your ruler, and what I'll do is I'll just flip this around to make it easier for myself for now. Put your pencil on that mark and draw a line that goes all the way across. We call this line the horizon line. Now, what you'll do at either end of the horizon line, and this is around half a centimeter to a centimeter in from the side, is you'll just make a little dot there and there. Now, those two dots are important when we're drawing in perspective because they're called the vanishing points. And in 1-point perspective, you have one vanishing point. In 2-point perspective, you have 2 vanishing points. We have the left vanishing point and we have the right vanishing point. So we're just going to go ahead and start doing some drawing of a city street corner, and I'll commentate as I go along, and then you can pick up from there and do your own version. So what we'll do to start with is we're just going to draw a line that goes straight up 14 centimeters. Hopefully this will be a perfect vertical line. And from the bottom corner here, you're going to do a line that's not too dark, that runs down to the right vanishing point. So don't do it too dark, try to keep your ruler a bit softer, and one that runs all the way to the left vanishing point, like that. And then you're going to measure down around 2.5 or 2 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters maybe. It doesn't have to be totally precise here, and you're just going to make a mark there. See, I've made that around 2.5 centimeters, and that from that mark you're going to draw to the vanishing point as well. That's going to be quite soft. Goes to the left vanishing point and then up to the right vanishing point. What you do now is you're going to measure down about 0.5 centimeter and just do a little line. Then that line we're going to go up to the vanishing point as well. That's going to be the curve of our footpath as it meets the road. Okay, our next step is we're going to turn this line here into the front corner of a building. So you're going to take your ruler and run it down from the top there to the vanishing point, but not all the way, just about 4 or 5 centimeters, and just nice and light. And you'll do the same on the other side over here. So you'll come around down to the vanishing point, about 4 or 5 centimeters. And then you'll probably, I guess the line is around about 4 centimeters. Let's stick to that. So around 4 centimeters. Just mark that, and that's going to come straight down. See how my ruler's parallel? the edge of my ruler and that the front corner. So I'm just going to run that down like that. Same here, 4 centimeters. Mark it, and down we come. So you can actually take your rubber and just get rid of this line here, and yes, that's kind of the look we're going for, and we're going to turn that now into quite a detailed building. What we'll do to start with is, again, we'll measure up, we'll use that 4 centimeter measurement, and we're going to measure up and just make a mark there. Then don't make it quite as dark as my one, and then you're going to take that mark and it's going to run to the vanishing point. Just do a nice light line that goes across, just across the building, not all the way. And then you'll come in and you'll do a line that comes down like that, and a line that comes down. Make sure these are really vertical lines. Okay, now that's going to become a door. So we can just make that top a little bit more solid. Like that. I can also get rid of that little line like there. Now, it's really important when you're doing perspective drawing is that you understand where you're looking from. Okay, so from this, when I'm looking at this building, my eye line is kind of in line with the horizon line. So when I look down, I'll be able to see the inside of the door frame like that. But when I look at anything up and above the horizon line, I see the underside of the top of the door frame. I can't see the underside of the top of the window frame up the top. I'm not sure if that quite made sense, but I'll show you what I mean. So if I'm looking from my perspective, which is eye line is in line with the horizon line, and in the middle here, I'm going to be able to see the door inside of the door jamb there and the bottom of the door jamb there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to thicken up this line by doing another line just inside that. You see that? And then inside though, between those two lines, I'll do another line again. And that just gives the impression that I can see the inside of the door jamb. Then I'm going to put my ruler on the horizon line, vanishing point, the right vanishing point, and just come down and do the same here. Okay, so that's going to be the bottom of the door there. And then I can just shade that out a little bit. I don't know, I'll put a matte there maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe I don't want that to come all the way out. I'll just shade the inside of the door jamb. And then I'm just going to do a line, and that's going to be the handle of the door. Next to the door, I'm going to do a window. Similar sort of thing. I need to do the bottom of my window first. So, I'll start on this side, and I'll do a line that comes down about 2 centimeters. Nice vertical line. And from the bottom of that line, I'll do a 1 centimeter line that goes to the vanishing point. Okay, can you see what I'm doing there? Not sure, it's getting a little dark in this room, so I'll maybe up on the light. Hopefully that will help a little bit. So you may be beginning to understand that all the lines, just about every line, either goes vertically or to one of the two vanishing points. And if it's not, you need to think long and hard about what you're doing. Now this line will be much less than 2 centimeters, but it will still be a vertical line like that. And then I can go around and just make that a bit more solid. Using my rubber, I'm just going to carefully get rid of that line that I was using as a guide before. And again, I'm going to be able to see the door jamb on that side and on the underside of the window. So I'll do the same thing. Maybe I'll just do one line and like that there. Whoa! Don't get too carried away. If I just zoom in a little bit, this will help you sort of see some of the details there. Okay, now I'm going to do the same on the other side, except for this time I'm going to do just 2 windows. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to have that guideline that goes to the vanishing point, comes down a couple of centimeters, again goes to the vanishing point. My ruler's on the vanishing point, that left vanishing point. Then I come back up again. And this, I could just carry on a very faint line there, so I know where my windows go. There. Yeah, I want you to be very careful that these lines are vertical lines, straight up and down. It's very easy when you've got these 2 lines like that to turn your ruler like that. Make sure they're vertical. And then 1, 2. My handy rubber. Doesn't matter if some of these lines are still showing, but not that much though. Okay, so I'm just going to make that a bit more solid. Now this time I'll be able to see the bottom door frame still, however, window jamb, sorry. But however, it's this side that I'll be able to see. So I'm going to thicken up that line and that line. Okay, so I've done the first story windows. What I'm going to also do is just a little bit of shading, and it's really important that you take your time when you do the shading. So I'm going to shade it quite heavily on this side, but not on this side, just based on the sun more coming from that way. So I'm just going to take my time. See how I'm holding. Oh, I'm not really showing you how I'm holding it. I'll zoom out. I'm holding it like this. I'm holding my pencil like this. And I'm just really taking my time to get this shading right. There you go. And then on this side, I'm just going to do that. Okay. I could just keep going over that a little bit. What I'm going to do next is just below the horizon line, I'm going to start another line, or another row of windows. So pointing at the vanishing point, I need my guideline to go across like that. Now I'm not measuring anything in particular here. These windows might be a bit higher, but I am going to keep them in line with these ones here. So I'll do that, 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 and that. Okay, so I've done that. It's looking a little rough, so I'll go over the top. going to do my door jambs. So here we go. So I've done that on that side. I'll do the same on the other side. You can see why it's really important that you don't go too hard on the guidelines, so you can just get rid of them. Took my time. Okay, it's coming along quite nicely. And I'm going to do another row at the top. Try and do my guidelines as light as possible now, lining them up with the window. Just spin that round to make it easier for myself. Now the real trick here is going to be at the top, because now I'm going to be able to see up, because my line of sight is here. I'll be able to see the bottom of the top, the underside of the top of the window jamb. So it's a little window frame, so it's a little bit different now. So I'm going to just darken that up a little bit like that. Do the same on this side. Sorry, it's not straight up and down, but it is easier for me just to rotate things around. Oh, and I made a mistake, a massive mistake, because that should not be thick there at all. I was on autopilot. There we go. And I'll just shade that in a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to go around the outside of this building, the main lines of this building, and just sharpen those up a little bit. Upside down. Okay, so there's my, just tidy that up. Here's my house, my building, my 3-story building. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a garage next door. So what you'll do is you'll put in a vertical line that goes just below the horizon line, and then it will track, the top of the garage will track about 4.5, let's say 5. Ooh, might be a bit far. Let's do 4.5 centimeters along, and then another vertical line coming down to there. And that's going to be the basic front face of the garage. Now, you're not going to see the back of the garage, but there does need to be a line that points towards, it's only going to go a short distance, but that points towards the left vanishing point. See, because that's going to be a little alleyway there. Same with that one there. Okay, and then we're going to shade that eventually, because that's going to be, it's going to be a shadow cast on that wall there. Along a little bit there, and we'll put a vertical line up. This is going to be the garage door. Goes down to the vanishing point, and another vertical line like that. Now this is where we're going to employ some of our technical skills. We'll just sort the roof out, which will require a line from here to the vanishing point over there, and how can I say this? It can only go as far, yeah, it's going to go as far as the middle of the roof, and then this part will, another line will come back. So if you can imagine this line here, the edge of the building will meet up. Oh, that does not look pretty. No, we'll come back and fix that up in a second. But the thing I want you to focus on now is the detail of the garage door. So we'll bring it down. We're going to recess the door a little bit. So this line here, this is going to be a left vanishing point line. So it's pointing all the way to the left vanishing point. It's just going to come in a little bit like that. And then on top of, next to that, there's going to be a vertical line coming down. Now this is quite a tricky little bit, right, we're going to do here. I'm going to use this point here, so I'm going to leave my pencil there. I'm going to put it on there, and then I'm going to put it going to the vanishing point there, but I'm not going to draw the line that way. I'm going to draw it back this way, like that. And then I might just go like a little bit of shading here. And then what you're going to do, and you can just use your eye to do it, is just go down and make a series of little dots that are the same distance apart, like that. And then what's going to happen is it's going to be the ribs on the garage door. Just wait till I'm finished this to see what this will look like. I might need to just sharpen up my pencil because I've been drawing for quite a while. And down the bottom I'm going to, I am actually going to just take a second to sharpen my pencil. Which is all done now. Okay, so if I just zoom out, okay, I've just done the garage door there. I might just add a little bit of darker shading down here. Yeah, that'll be good. Similar kind of shading down here. I'll probably just, you don't want to go too hard with the shading, but it does create quite a cool effect if you use it correctly. Okay, so there we have it. We've got our city corner. We've got a 3-story building, a garage. It's not finished. We could add some other things in, but that's a start. Okay.